Welcome, joining us. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it for the Wayward One, session 48.
Wayward ones!
Hello.
Okay, well, never mind. Just do it myself. Do a little dance. That's all right. Okay, so we are at the Grand Library. We're underneath the large awning, the covering area of the Grand Library, the spiralized pillars as they support that awning, this massive superstructure. The staircases descend down into a courtyard. The courtyard has performances. They have a variety of different traders that do sell here, not just in the bazaar, but they come out here to sell more of like food items, cooked food items and things. Very typical to, very typical to somebody that is on the go constantly, has something they can pitch up really quickly, feed people, maybe set down some tables, some stools, kegs of ale. And then the performances are also very similar to that. They're like pop-up tents that would be perched just to cover from some of the rain and the elements. The performances of a variety. There's bards just, jamming out, maybe a trio of them, asking for a coin. And this is a bridge of districts where you have a kind of a grand park structure that forms itself on the north side of the main road and begins to spill through. You have a whole thoroughfare, which is just this massive courtyard and a road that kind of cuts through and separates some of the housing into the noble district. And then you have from there, too, on the north side of the library, that beautiful, massive, not superstructure in the context of the library, but the Alathan Council Hall, a city council hall, which has kind of a spire of tower that kind of extends upwards, has a whole massive grand chamber for its meetings. There's multiple departments, offices is what they call them, and those chambers lie within most likely its own park that surrounds it. It's gated, that sort of thing. So you're kind of in an open area, but you're at the tables underneath the awning playing chess. So we're kind of opening up with Istrio and Othala. But before we get to the role play of that, I do want to just recap. I'm going to go super quickly, rapid fire. We had information given to us from a Dias Strum, the actual shipwright of the lower dock. They are someone that is paid and sanctioned by the city to run that public facility. And that facility does a number of things: regulations, taxes, ship repairs, right? Controlling the actual Seagate and how that whole system works with influx. Dias Strum offered a name up, Jonathan Yon, captain of the trawler. It is a sloop docked at Pier 39 along the river. I don't think I provided that, but I just want to make a note in case you're wondering. Of location, Pier 39 is actually along the river wharf, which is not necessarily in the bay. It's actually in the river, which is where more of the freelance captains or some of the companies beyond Cedric Bay Company that are lesser would be docked at. Dias Strum provided some information of the Farward Company, what happened to those structures. We then spent some time in the Wafting Sails, a sailors and ship drinking tavern. We met Kepper Hans, the hefty dwarf tavern keeper. We also met a Harris Renna, the quartermaster of Farwater Company, now turned captain of the Fireling with the Cedric Bay Company. They stated they saw the explosion from a tugboat as they went out to help out in the night for the Jolly Good, which was a ship that was captained by someone from the Goli Alliance that you all were negotiating perhaps voyage with. And so they just kind of saw the explosion from afar, right? They weren't really there. And then from the persuasion and the drunkenness, we kind of went to this, went to that. There's three things here. The first thing is a Fireling runs rum for the Golden Hand. The second thing is Relv Ship & Co. is a front for the Golden Hand. Third thing, Captain Morgan. And through that nameless runs the barrels. Okay, so there's a rapid fire. Boom, boom, boom. Grand Library, we had information provided. I didn't get a chance to do a lore posting. We've been busy this week. Just know if you need more elaboration for the session, we can go into that. It's totally fine. We spent some stuff on outfits, went to Master Torvin's smithy, schematic for Dagger, Apprentice. Wow, we went through a lot of stuff in the last session. Let me tell you, this is so much. Oh my gosh. And then we went to the Thieves Guild and we spoke to Guildmaster Chapman's up. where we got information that the Denkosh are now involved in moving quote unquote crystal, and the Balts have increased activity. Maybe there's some sort of alliance between them or whatnot. The Balt history, where they come from and who their names are, right? How they are connected to Temeria and how they are negotiated in terms of some of their hierarchy. We now have a name given, the Hawk, a new player. Alathan arrived a few months ago, and also another shadowy figure that accompanies. We don't know the name or of who they are. Still investigation of that. Now, Farah Company was halted. Their investigation was halted after they believed a magical or deployed alchemist-like weapon was used to destroy the field and the warehouse. They said a magistrate, Jasmine Felina, presides over council and believed by the Rudikar that the High Council is responsible for halting the investigation. Right, so they believe that the High Council was that. So, the High Council is comprised of not only of the presiding Empyrean College mage, but also of a number of business company figureheads and entities inside of the city that have a vote. It is a democratic type situation. So even though the magistrate was named, it does not mean that other people might not be in play to halting that investigation. Okay? All right. Wipe the brow, man.
Good job.
Honestly, I should just make a campaign that's far more simple. There's a horde of goblins. Kill them. All right. Let's go ahead.
Simple is the enemy of entertaining.
Yeah. All right. Open up. Let's get scene view. Constant switch on.
I need a new notebook. A lot of pages.
I'm on number 3.
Just 3 pages?
No, books. Yeah.
It's like homework. We're in school right now. No, everyone, pay attention. I love
I get to work on my penmanship.
It's so great. All right, so there's a light rain falling down, and it's light obviously with awnings, so the sound should adjust for that. You have the city still alive. You are playing chess. Insane.
I think at this point, Othala just got done crushing in chess. And he was, for someone who said they've never played this game, you're awfully good at it.
Well, the sages often play, and you watch and read a bunch of maneuvers. It just came to fruition, I guess. Yeah. This is an oddly lively town. It's probably the most populated we've seen so far.
That you've seen.
No. I think my homeland is probably a little bigger.
What type of cities did you come from?
Seen a lot of cities before. Cities of endless magic, science, technology, ships that soar through the sky. Pretty phenomenal things. Speaking of homelands, what is yours like? Dia doesn't like to really talk about it much, so.
It's, well, got its pros and cons, I suppose one could say. Goes with anything. But if I were to elaborate, simplify, that's time, I'd say you could boil it down into two groups of people. Those who are fortunate enough to be blessed into nobility, and those that are not. Those that are not, well, I've got to make do. And then, of course, you have mystery that I'm still uncovering with the Fae that are still there, leftover refugees from the congruence.
So I take it none of the Fae are part of this nobility.
Well, none are born into it per se, but Elion and Temeria, some would argue it is a fortunate thing that they have broad perspectives and allowances on acceptance into nobility. If you work hard enough, if you are successful at what you work at, then you may one day be granted a noble house. In that respect, I believe Elion flourishes in not restricting access, and it so drives the citizens to be the best versions of themselves.
It's interesting. So, sort of, you work for your favor. And, but what is this? How is the restraints on oh, because I might be getting my mixer. Is Temeria the one that has the restraints on magic, or is it Alderia?
Restraints on magic in what context?
Like how there the holy war that we saw, that was the Temerians, right? The war that fought on the Isle.
No, that was not the Temerians. That was the Talthars.
Taltars. Okay. Rewind that one. Okay, well, I see why Soren and you also wanted to help the Fays get back home, even though they're gaining nobility and whatnot, still not their homeland.
Well, Soren was a bit of a oddball himself. Yeah, there was quite a few Fae that became comfortable once they reached nobility, or whatever they did. Comfortable surviving. Soren was always looking for another way. And, well, as for myself, it was, well, suppose you could say in hindsight, he kept me in check a bit. Basic summary, I had lofty ambitions, dreams, probably matched only by my impulsiveness.
Youthful optimism.
Youthful optimism that turned into going beyond youthful. Well, once you attain nobility, which we did by establishing our library, wonderful place. I do wonder how it is nowadays. The more you work, the higher your position. And along with all the nice clothes, foods, shelters, it wasn't that I was after, but those were nice. I was looking to pull my family name up. So it was the status I sought. And in pursuit of that, there was some other things. I should have kept a closer eye. needless to say, there's not going to be any going back now. In fact, the last time I was in this city, I was being hunted down by assassins from Tamaria.
Yeah, you never did really explain why you were running.
That one, mostly Soren's fault. So you see, he never quite gave up on trying to find a way for the other Fae to get back to their home. And so we started digging around into the old congruence back in Maria. Congruence that, well, was the epicenter of a war long ago. And, well, he disturbed some balances of power and found himself on the run. And in my search for him, I also uncovered the same things. Things that would provide me information that others would rather not see the light of day.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Honestly, it sucks being away from your home, regardless of the matters. Um, Also, sorry Soren had to make such an abrupt leave. Uh, don't really know what happened there, but seems that him and Felix had a conversation and they spoke through it. And Felix relayed to me that Soren had wanted to further his mission on what you're speaking about. It seems the congruence are really important to him, and it's a big deal. I think you should be proud of him.
Well, equal proudness with concern, as you've seen before from him. He's prone to getting into trouble. But it's all right. I will continue to check up on him. However, there's, as recently found out, a bit more pressing matters.
Yeah, a lot more pressing matters. Endless, out of time gods and crazy primordials.
Do you ever see yourself tackling something like that when you were a young soul?
I always had a feeling that my powers or the gifts that I have were not really from my world. It just felt otherworldly, and not whether or not I knew I was going to be tackling something. And this type of stage, we always know that fate has a role for us. And whether or not it happens, we choose to make our own fate, right?
Therein lies the great debate among scholars. Does fate guide your hand, or does your hand guide fate?
Who knows that's true? But maybe we'll be the first to find out.
Well, I suspect we're among the first to go traveling through time.
I've
If
been
not,
there before.
been there before. You are quite the mysterious person, Paula.
Yeah, yeah. The more the time goes on, the more I remember, the more I see how we can just be drops in the ocean, but we still matter.
I'm curious, just if it came down to it and your dream was within reach, your goal, whatever it was that you're searching for, is it about achieving that dream or goal, regardless of what happens along the way?
I have a story. Before I came here, I had a companion that tried to aid me in getting back to Eberron. We had built a contraption of sorts um, to harness my power and to sort of pinpoint the direction I needed to go. A few of my allies through my journeys were there to watch. And I always had this nervousness about my abilities. That's why I try to keep them on a minimum. But I was selfish, and I let them continue creating it. And the day that came where I was supposed to leave, I kind of knew it was going to fail, but I still went along with it. I don't know who survived that day because the last thing I remembered before coming here is just seeing a bunch of energy encompass all of them. So, what you asked me is if I want to do that again. And truthfully, it's true. I don't. What I want to do is figure out what's happening and how can I do this on my own so that I don't endanger anyone else. I'm truthfully tired of losing lives, even if I can't remember their faces.
You've seen faces of many dead, I can tell. But in your path, you say you wish to do this yourself to spare others' lives. There may yet be moments where you're going to have to weigh choices wherein lives will be the cost. Hey,
Yeah, I know. I've thought about this for a long time, and these few months I've been thinking about it even more. I've lived a long life, it's true. Not that I remember a lot of it, but feelings are still there. If my dream has to be chosen over the lives of others, then it's not a dream. Because in a dream, I'd want everything to go right. I'd want people to be safe. I'd want to be home. So if I had to protect you and the rest of the Wayward, I would sacrifice my dream. Think I owe that to them, to everybody else I've lost.
Well, before you go out like a martyr, sacrifice yourself, I would like to voice my strong objection to such a thing as someone who has lived seems to be multiple lifetimes, still has place on this world. And for the record, you aren't alone here. Just as you would sacrifice your dream for the lives of us. Now, I've only known you all for a matter of months now, but I'm a decent judge of character, and I'd be willing to venture that most, if not all of us, would likely do the same for you. And so, I think we should all look out for each other in whatever comes.
Of course, of course. We're only speaking in hypotheticals. I would never throw myself in the fire. I'm done taking acid to the face.
Yeah, that must not feel good.
No, but it would be a great parlor trick because now I know what I look like half decomposed.
Do your worst, because I know how worse it could be.
Well, I have a feeling that things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. But as you said, we're all in this together now.
Yeah, stuck in a time fracture to fight whatever. Who knows? So,
Right. Deities, timelines, ancient mysteries.
entity, primordial dragon. Who knows?
It's all fascinating.
I think it's great. The more we know, right?
Just hoping we'll have the wherewithal to write about it afterwards.
Yeah. If anything, let's ensure Felix stays alive or his book, at least. Can probably teleport it somewhere. Contingencies.
Contingencies are never a bad thing. Alright then. Back to this game. Keep showing me what exactly you've learned from these sages.
Checkmate.
Oh. Give another check if y'all want.
Let's see if
I'll
I've
go for
learned
it.
anything.
Go for another game. Put up a fighting chance here, Israel.
Oof.
Oh. Are you gonna chrono ship?
Yeah.
He even thought about it.
That's one down.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Thala gets a little bit of the edge. Really catching up.
Good.
All right. So we definitely retcon in terms of time of the day, right? So you can kind of get to this role play. Is there anything else you both wish to discuss? Okay.
That about covers it.
Okay. So we are now going to be moving over to the Prim Iris. Is that what we intend to do? Okay. Now, are we doing this as a party all together to meet with Bruga?
Weren't we doing the thing with Gruga first, then the Primaris, since that was later in the evening? Or...
I think it's at the same place.
The same
Well,
place.
it's the same place. Promise
Oh,
is,
okay.
is a restaurant, right?
Prim Iris.
Oh,
is
I thought it was a bar. Never mind.
Nope. Well, it has a bar, but it's also a restaurant. It has rooms too.
Oh, wow.
Just want to be kind of on the same page. We're at
Diversified portfolio up here.
diversified
As-
portfolio. I can't.
As time is going on, does Costas look more and more nervous as we get closer to his date time?
Gossis, you nervous? That's a yes. Okay, we'll take it as a yes.
Give me a second. I need to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay, we're gonna get a wisdom saving throw. All right, roll it out.
Okay, my computer is fudging, so yeah, let's just say I'm nervous.
You're not
Yeah,
even
cool.
you're not even in Foundry right now. I'm looking at this player list. You must have been bugging out. So you're nervous. Do you have physical dice?
No, yeah. No.
Roll physical
Yeah.
dice?
Costas is fidgeting. He's like looking off. Like at some point, you like asked, like he just walked down the wrong street. Like you guys like need to take a turn, and he just kept walking. Just
Hey, is he okay? I mean, I've seen him weird before, but this seems weirder than normal.
I mean, who knows what goes on in his head? Hey, Costas, what you doing there, bud?
What's wrong? Something's wrong. Tell me what's wrong.
just a bit distracted. Nothing. It's
By what? It's not the city. You're from a big city.
Which one of you two is the sneakiest?
Me, obviously.
What do you think?
Okay. I need you to follow me for a second.
Okay. I will
It's funny
follow
because I think
Costas wherever he is
Costas-
leading me.
has seen me turn people and myself invisible like multiple
Uh-huh,
times. But yeah,
I will follow Costas wherever he is leading me that he thinks it's a private place.
Where we
Okay,
kind of left
oh.
off. Yeah, we kind of left off kind of separated terms. We'll just say we're kind of grouped up at this point. Istriel, with all your kind of now making way to the Primaris from your chess games and things. You're on the kind of the north side of where the Colosseum would be, the wall of the bazaar, that kind of the sandstone wall that surrounds the grounds. There's a lot of sounds and things. You have the park nearby you. Just a leisurely stroll, making sure you have a little covering of cowls of the rain as it's falling down and staying to the sidewalk of some of the carriages and stagecoaches that are on this main thoroughfare. And for the rest of you, you maybe be across the street for the Primaris, or maybe you're still kind of working your way to it on the south end. But you're able to find a little alleyway nestled between a couple of the structures that stand 2 to 3 story, sandstone. There's a little bit of a well courtyard back here, a couple of different trees that are leafed in terms of a leaf. It'd be deciduous, right? It's not evergreen. Growing a couple different sorts of seeds and things this time of year.
So what's wrong?
Okay, so first of all, do you have a way of telling if like Felix is following us? The guy's a nosy bugger.
I will very dramatically look around to see if Felix is around.
Felix, are you pursuing them in terms of them being pulled away off of the sidewalk and crossing the street?
no, I'm showing Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, Felix, you think he's getting makeup tips or something?
I don't know, man. He's nervous about something. Maybe his mom's coming, or I don't know.
I mean, I'd be scared of her too if I grew up in that household, but
Or some politician. You know how he likes to kiss ass.
facts.
Griffin's right next to you, both smoking a pipe.
I forgot you were there again, man. You scare the shit out of me every time you do that.
Turns and looks to you. A little bit of flame comes out from the nostrils to keep them warm. Sorry.
Did you just snort fire?
Yes. I have an inner flame. Provides warmth.
Well, I have that after Mexican.
Yeah, seriously, man. Some of them tacos can get rough depending on the hot sauce.
Never had this taco. Sounds lovely.
Oh, they're amazing. I still got some smoked fish with me. I think I could put a rudimentary one together.
Aren't we headed to a restaurant?
Yeah. Might not be as good as my tacos, though. We'll see.
Fair. Gladly accept your tacos. What's wrong with their mother?
She's mean.
In all the right ways.
Oh,
Yeah, if you're into that kind of thing.
one of those.
Mm.
Just like my Kalissa Airly.
You know, the kind of that divine spot you anytime.
I mean, there's a time and place for rough play, but it's just the fact that she seems to be so rude to everybody around her all the time. Not exactly hospitable.
Joe, you just had to have a safe word. It's fine.
She doesn't seem the type that would accept a safe word. She's gonna do what she's gonna do.
My safe word is don't stop.
Do you have scars in odd places? That's a very personal question. I'm sorry.
I mean, Joe, maybe after dinner.
This
I think
conversation,
I'll
I
pass.
feel this conversation got away quite quickly.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, like we're the two probably, most odd people in the group, so.
So, is this...
I'm sorry, Joe, was that offensive?
No, I was gonna say, if anything, like, yeah, we got our quirks, but given the type of people we meet, I don't know, I almost feel like we're the most normal.
So we're country folk, Joe, and a lot of these people are like city folk. And I think, we come off as odd, because we just say what's on our mind.
Point.
Sorry, Griffin, you were saying something.
Oh, no. I was just saying that I've met with many different individuals in folk, albeit with some seclusion in the wizard's keep, and many a professor and mage. They were quite quirky in some.
Good for you, Griffin.
Does Costas has anything else to say?
Yeah, no, I very dramatically looked pointedly at Felix talking to Joe and Griffin across the street and then back at Costas. I think we're good.
Okay. It could be an illusion. But no. I'm going to recount the events of my meeting with the commander to Thea.
Okay.
Oh, buddy. Do Costas, have you had like the talk before? Do I have to give you the talk? Is that something that has to happen right now? This is
Oh
uncomfortable.
my god, no. No. I just want you to make sure it's not an ambush or something.
Oh, so you want me just like lurking around? Do you, what? Just lurking? Do you need like interruptions? If you cough 3 times, I'll come in, pretend I'm your girlfriend, and take you home. Dare you step out on me? That kind of thing.
Oh, that might be embarrassing for a paladin. Maybe like, could you like do this building have windows? Could you be like next building over? Like doing recon.
Costas, are you? Mhm. What would be the terminology for a medieval sniper?
Sniper.
That's what Costas is asking.
I don't know. I really don't know what Costas asking for, man. What? You don't want to go? You don't have to go. I don't want to.
Costas, are you asking me to be in position to assassinate this woman?
No. I'm just saying, if this is an ambush, or, like, this could very well be a trap.
It could be a trap. It could be several different kinds of trap, some of which you might enjoy a lot. Buddy.
Right.
We've been Lucased.
But if you don't have to go, you could just stand her up.
Well, I mean, at the same time, like, my curiosity is overwhelming. This is.
So then go. That answers your question.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
going,
very
but at the same time, like, I need backup.
So why just me?
Well, I feel, like, have you seen the group? This is. I never hear the end of it.
You wouldn't. You're still not going to. It's just me, but it's only going to be from me. So I guess that's marginally better. But
Yeah, I trust you to keep it somewhat tight-lipped. Is that misplaced trust?
I don't spill people's secrets, Costas.
Great. Okay. So, next building over with a bow, like covering my sex.
I might need to recruit some backup for this. Because if I'm across the street, then I'm not in there listening to what's going on.
You know what? Maybe I can have a signal that I could easily get to. Michael, are there any of my spells or something
read
that are very visible?
Yeah, a whistle.
Okay.
You have a magical walkie-talkie in your brain.
Yeah.
I know, that's a good point.
Help. That's the signal.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair point.
I've laughed so hard I can't laugh anymore. I am so perplexed right now about what is happening. I mean, that's your rap.
Costas is kind of putting out a hit on this woman.
I know. This is the first commander of the Talthar Navy. This is like the person who is in charge of the Talthar Navy. You didn't even agree to go to dinner. They simply just let you know that that's where they would be in case you wanted to have a dinner with them and you perhaps wanted to have more courting, right? More conversation. But that is in your court. You don't have to succumb to the succubus.
She'd
You
be
don't
the
have to
person
go.
you least suspect.
You don't have to go. You don't have to go. And even if you did go, you can still choose what you're doing in the conversation. You're not a prisoner where you're forced to. You see what I'm saying? I get that you want someone on your wing, right, to help you out. In case conversation stuff. But you have the telepathic bond. I mean, if you need to ask questions and get some advice as you go along, you can. But to have a sniper. And the building over, ready to go.
Just out of character, does anybody think that you can, recover from the idea of, I had an assassin overwatch our first day just in case you were trying to betray me? Do you ever recover from that?
No. That's
Talk to your
the-
grandkids. So I tried to assassinate your grandmother on our first day. No, that's not a conversation.
that's exactly how you break the ice right there. No.
She was in my
Mhm.
crosshairs the whole time.
So Lucas, just know that the ball is in your court. You get to dictate where the conversation goes. You didn't even agree. You don't have to go if you don't want to. You have a telepathic bond that's going to be up. That's Istria will make sure that's up at all times, and so you can continue to have conversation and get advice and help. And if you feel the need to take yourself away from the establishment, you can. To give you a description of what the Primaris is, okay, it is a 3-story structure. It has an attached stabling area where it actually can park your stagecoaches, and they will actually very similar to a valet service. Actually, take your stagecoach and they'll drive it off into that barn, and they will stash in that stable area, and then they'll give you a little voucher, right, for when you wish to leave. And it has a whole little front courtyard thing where you'll pull it through a grand entrance into the 3-story structure. And the first floor is the ballroom, the banquet room, right, where then you'll have servers that will address you and take you to the table. There has covering balcony areas that overcome the actual banquet room. They have another series of that as well that encompass into the second floor. The second floor also has other chambers for supplies and for storage and things, grand windows. There's a lot of viewports. A lot of them are massive. They go from the first to the second story. They're vaulted through, metal reinforced, into the sandstone building. The third floor has some rooms that are quite ornate. We talk about these are like suites. They would have massive king-size beds, their own bathrooms, their own servers. They're actually servants that you have. They have their own dining rooms in there, their own balconies, right? And so this is all accompanied in this place. This is the Primaris. It is the grandeur place of this city. There is no more finer things than this. And it's large, it's massive, and the prices are not astronomically out there. So there are people who do come here for celebrations and events and to get a delicious meal and to be wined and dined, so to speak. So it's a public place. Right?
How many assassins are overhead? Can you watch right now?
Does this help you,
Let me
Lucas?
I mean, I've been with this group long enough to know everything's an ambush.
No, we just tend to walk into our trouble of our own making a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And besides which, like, kind of role-playing wise, it's usually Joe's and Thea's dick to be paranoid about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Costas headlong rushes into battle with his
Yeah, I
warhammer.
know.
So go rush headlong into romance.
Yeah, I know exactly, but he's uncomfortable, son. He's taking a page out of your book for once. This is
Yeah, I think we're rubbing off on Costas.
Basically, he just doesn't want. Basically, Thea, I just don't want you to be in the building because I'd prefer you weren't spotted. And if you had a bow on you, just in case things go bad, because like if suddenly like some reckoning mages would pop out or something, that'd be good.
All right. There's a few things that we could do instead. She's coming here anyway. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
She's coming here anyway. She suggested that if you would like to continue your whatever it is you're calling this with her, that you could also show up at the same time.
Which I have to say was very vague. They didn't give a specific time.
Well, I mean, not everybody keeps a tight schedule.
I know, but aren't they just there for
We-
like 5 hours?
We could, in theory, go. Like, what would be the purpose of this? To pursue a romantic interaction, to obtain information. What's your angle here?
Honestly, right now I'm kind of just trying to see how it plays out.
So both.
Yeah, all of the above right now.
So both. So that means you do have to show up as yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I and perhaps some of, if not all of the others, could show up not as ourselves.
Oh, is like maybe like using that spell you guys used to, like the one to change appearances, something like that.
Wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea.
It could work. Hmm. Do you have anything specific in mind, or just try and find generic people off the streets, or maybe specific people that we just know are not going to be at the Primaris today?
I mean, specific people is what if somebody knows them?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
better to just make it up. But then at least you have all of us there and not in a building across the street, one person that if something happens, it will take me a little while to get to you.
Fine. Okay.
And also, having all of us there.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy it a lot more.
This is about enjoying it. If you have a genuine concern, then I am genuinely concerned for you, and this speaks to my internal suspicion of everyone. So, good choice talking to me.
Yeah. I just get a feeling whatever table you guys are at is going to have a lot of drinks going to it. Yeah.
I don't drink
Sure.
on the job.
Okay.
Also,
you.
is this a job? Will you be paying me for it?
Do you want money? I mean,
I mean,
I was kind of hoping it would just be like we're part of the same group. You'd kind of be wanting to just help me out with this. But if you want money, sure.
I will give you the friends and family discount.
How much?
2,000 gold.
My fucking god!
Friends and family discount. Jesus.
No way. Oh,
That's half off, buddy.
I'm not even taking out a hit. I'm asking you to come. Yeah, I'm asking you to go to a fucking dinner place and
Yeah,
be
a
on
hit would be
standby.
10,000 gold. Friends and family discount.
Do you have more money than my family?
I've worked for a very long time. Let's just put it at that.
Okay, now I want to see your apartment in Lathan.
It's very small. Blends in
Yeah.
better.
I want to see what's under the floorboards. I want to see where you hide the gold. My god.
Maybe one day you will.
Yeah, no. If you're charging 2,000, I think I'll go solo.
You know what? Well, how about we use this as a I'll show you how good I am. And next time, you pay me full price.
You know what? If you get an opportunity to show me how good you are, yeah, sure. I'll pay full price next time.
Cool. Just for you, Costas. Just this once.
I reach my hand out to do a handshake.
I will shake. So, am I inviting the others to assist me in this?
Yeah, but I'm not paying them.
All right. All right. Over
Joe.
the mental link to Joe and Felix. And I don't know if Athala and Istriel are there yet. We got a job tonight.
Before I respond, I will shake Joe's hand like, Joe, shake my hand like we just made a deal. Because I just watched them across the street do that. You too, Griffin.
Oh, right. Yes.
Nice handshake. We got a job tonight. Costas is going on a date.
You're funny. We got things to do.
Uh-huh. Costas has people to do.
People?
Wow.
I wasn't sure on that front,
Apparently
just
he's,
a weird interaction with his horse.
Apparently he's nervous. And wants us to keep a lookout in case anything happens.
He wants us to run surveillance on his date?
Uh,
By the gods, what a
it
gift.
got quasi assassination-y, but now it's just surveillance.
At this point, Israel and Othala, you both are kind of arriving somewhat unseen, looking around in terms of perceiving where your party might be. You see them chatting underneath the awning, nearby structure close to the Primaris in terms of vicinity. You can make your way over.
What assassination? Surveillance? Is this a date, or is this some kind of weird political intrigue his family's part of?
Not sure yet, but I'd like to find out. Also, I
Does-
just want to see Costas on a date.
I
I
think
mean,
that's assassinates what the kids are calling it these days.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the lingo in this continent is like? I'm gonna assassinate that girl tonight? That seems borderline aggressive.
I don't think that there is another word definition for assassinate. I feel like that's pretty serious. The death.
Speak for yourself, Griffin.
It has been a long time since I've laid with.
So, I just kind of assumed what with him being rich as shit and all, and high and mighty, and prettying himself up like, I don't know, some kind of pinup model all the time, he'd probably be swimming in ladies back home. I mean, even though he's weird as hell. Is he just nervous, or is there really something else going on?
I think both. He said both.
So, are we supposed to just all 6 of us accompany him and show up? Or we're hiding? What is this, an ambush on her?
We're just keeping an eye out. He mentioned mages popping in like they did last time and, disintegrating people.
Wait, does he have some kind of intelligence about another assault on us? Did he
I
say where that came from?
didn't get that impression.
This must be quite the powerful individual to warrant, dragon slayers watching over him.
I know the name that he mentioned. I know who that is and the importance.
Do you know the first commander?
Yeah, well, not personally, but do I know who they are?
Yeah, you know who Cosette O'Reilly is. They are not born of noble birth. They are somebody who had worked up the ranks of the Talthar military. First, obviously, going through a pathway that would not lead them to the Talthar Navy, but they are a individual of loyalty and strong morals. They had taken the posting, and then they served with that posting for time. And then eventually, they were promoted to this rank because of their loyalty and their intelligence. They're someone that's honorable, someone that's fair. They have had no signs in terms of the populace of Alathan as being anything but that.
Yeah, I think he's overreacting, but
Oh, we have been attacked by wizards a lot in the last few weeks. Hey, Costas. Thea tells me you got some intel on an impending wizard attack again. Who are you talking to? What are the beats on this? This is serious, man. We gotta gear up for war right now.
No solid intel. Again, honestly, I was thinking of not bringing anyone in. Just, unknown city, weird feeling. Figured I shouldn't go off alone. I didn't think the entire group would get involved. I figured I'd only get 1 or 2 people to kind of be remotely close by in case something went wrong. But
In case
Sure, man. I
something-
mean, it's been a while since the last orgy, but I'm down.
Oh, is this some kind of weird courtship ritual of the rich and powerful to try to get the extra playmates involved?
Yeah, I think it's
My
like a
God,
status
no.
thing if you can involve more than one person.
Huh.
I'd like
My
to
God.
abstain. Fine.
We do things
Hi.
together, bud.
Well, I don't know. You got a whole bunch of other Slick City women that are coming to involve themselves in our miscreant exploits. I mean, if this is sure enough to be some kind of crazy party, I could blow off some steam. We've had a rough few weeks.
I want to lean over and whisper to Joe and say, Joe, I'm fucking with him.
I mean, maybe you are, but I see an angle where maybe we could make the best of this evening.
My God. Joe's like, you go and do it. Oh my God.
Well, Joe, we're in the city. If you need to get laid, you need to get laid. You know, it's fine.
Yeah. Over the mental link, Joe. I know people. I got you. If that's what you need.
There's a brothel. We don't have to.
Mhm.
I mean, not so much a scratching or a prescient need or anything, but I mean, y'all know me. If there's an opportunity that presents itself,
Oh,
I
yeah.
ain't one to turn it down.
Well, anyway, we're all gonna be in the Trim Iris anyways for the meeting with Grugo, right? So like it's not like out of the way or anything.
So it's the
Sorry.
same place.
Yeah, same place.
Hey, man, let's go have dinner. The rest of us will break off to have drinks on our own. You go do your date thing. If you need us, we'll be in the same building, just on the other side. We'll come help you out. You got it, man. You're a fucking knight, a payloader, a paladin. You got this shit.
What
I
he
really
said.
didn't need that, but yeah, sure, thank you.
Well, that's fine. Fuck it. You don't got it.
Wow.
You
Felix
know,
is
Costas, you'll be fine. It's okay. You're a young man, and they don't bite. Only sometimes.
Much.
And then Costas
I would
and then Othal.
also like to offer my
Unless you
advice.
ask them to.
My first encounter with my Calicera Lee was not of the most fortuitous nature. I was a child of beer of rank, a young pupil. Lisa had struck me down with the feathered whip in discipline.
Griffin, have you heard of this thing called oversharing?
Oversharing. Not familiar with that term.
Clearly.
Is it still technically a whip if it's got feathers? You know, instead of like leather thongs or something?
Alyssa at this point was a rune guardian, someone of high rank in the Wizard's Keep. It is someone that protects the towers. For them, it was the first tower. We were learning about our inner fire, building it up. I happened to be of the rebellious nature and burned one of her prize collection.
So she accosted you with a feather duster?
It was, I suppose, yes.
Well, all right then.
This was your teacher?
They were my instructor at the time, yes.
A little
Solid.
fucked up, dude.
This is problematic.
Wow.
It didn't even leave a scratch. It was more about the loss of dignity to my pupil.
I do know some people are into degradation again.
Anyways, I'm not familiar with this oversharing, so Costas, if you wish for me to elaborate further, I can.
I think we're all good.
Right.
You can talk to Paylor about that, but
I
his
know you're
house is
speaking
somewhere
to
down
your
there.
deity.
Okay.
Smokes the pipe. Pulls out a flask. In awkward silence.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you guys want to go talk to Gruga or something? Or
Yeah, maybe we pick up a
spelled
whip
in
for you along the way.
or feather duster.
I don't think either of those will be necessary.
Doesn't hurt to be
Uh,
prepared.
I mean, I
All right,
literally
I'm going in.
carry.
Let's go.
Sure.
Uh huh.
Okay. We're heading into the Permira. Okay. Transition. So this.
As we're heading in, I will at 4th level cast Enhance ability on myself. Cost this. And it's thrill.
Okay.
Give us Eagle's Splendor.
Seeing everybody's outfits as well, I will also cast Disguise Self and just change my outfit. And
Hey, you looking
Odala will have
spiffy there, man.
his Rugal wear from before he came into this world. Yeah, I thought I should blend in with the rest of you. Sorry, I'm sure running out of magic today.
So we have a disguised self. We got some enhanceability, promoting some advantages and things to yourselves here, disguising in terms of clothes and things. So I'm going to give a narration of this place, theater of mind. This place is pretty large in terms of a few notable things and such. So I'll try to touch on some highlights of what colorations of what to expect. So the entrance of this place marks into a courtyard with a pull-through made from stagecoaches and beautiful colorations and rich woods, with drivers, servants at the ready. They are beginning to help individuals onto a steep green and purple runway of sorts, a carpet that's draped over the sandstone stairs that descend into the courtyard that works itself to the sidewalk, marked with lampposts as it begins to work, and then spiralized pillars cover the awning that sits at the third story. And then there are balconies that actually extend outwards that are covered by that awning. They have tables and chairs upon them. People are eating and dining and looking out north to the city under the cover of the awning. Even with the rain pouring down, they're under the shelter. And this is not dissimilar from the south side of the building, which has something of sorts for the second floor, whereas this encompasses the second and the third floor in terms of volume space. The windows have an arch at the top, and then they flat, and they work themselves in slight stained patterns with draped curtains of the same green and purplish colorations. And those curtains run in envelopes over various different pillars and areas of accents. There are large pieces of artwork in the in the spaces between the windows, and those artworks depict very much a romanticism in terms of 17th century terms of concepts and things to invoke the palate, tastes, to excite the unexcited, right? For those who are coming out of the weather and of the rain and the conditions, they want a place that they can just relax and enjoy something of great value. So, upon coming into the double wooden metal reinforced with golden handled doors here, and the statues that flank, marbled as they're kind of caressing and moving themselves in terms of their emplacement here over the area, there are servants that are lined, and they begin to approach you immediately, offer to take your coat, they offer to take your weapon, if you wish, backpacks and things. But you don't need to give them anything. They're simply just offering to take it. And then when you look inside of the 10-foot entry, you notice that the banquet hall is right there. It just begins to start with a slight entry chamber that's broken up by a semi-arched entry. So that chamber there is kind of tight-knit in things, and shelving and wardrobes and a actual coat room that sits off on the north side that has more storage and things that can be kept away for coats and such. They most likely have chests. And even then, when you look inwards and just stare down, you notice that there is a little bit of a reinforced wooden door with a lock upon it that this individual with the coat checking is unlocking and stashing valuables, purses and things. Just stuff in the stagecoaches that some of these individuals don't want to be left in. Because after all, we're still in Olathe. There is no guard here. And so they're actually keeping it within the premises. Speaking of note of guard, there are enforcers here. They have blouse cuffs that extend with silver cuff links formed through with a greenish vest. And they have daggers tucked into the attire with a slight sloped hat that spins with a feathered quill. They are simply in trios or in fours, placed in various places throughout the banquet hall that's aligned with these immaculate wooden, darkened, stained tables draped in white cloth and linens. And they have plush silken chairs with candelabras and different chandeliers above them that dangle down far as the opening here of the banquet extends into the second floor of the structure. And those are all dangling down. Right, and so some of the tables might be underneath the balcony, others would be in the main thorough. Now, kitchen-wise, where's the food coming from? How does this all work? Well, in the actual alleyway, there is a rampart that kind of descends down, and the adjacent between the actual barn kind of stabling area and the cellar door sits descended underneath and allows for storage and occupation of certain supplies to be delivered quite promptly through wagon or through stagecoach. And then the kitchens have a kind of a backish area all the way from the entrance with curtains draped and a bar that runs slight circular. And it has individuals sitting there on plush bar stools, drinking wine and enjoying themselves with a plethora of a cocktail-like bar and assembly at the back area. So you don't necessarily need to ask for a table. You simply just need to walk into the structure and have your seat at the bar, and you can request food and get a proper drink. But there's someone at a podium. Go for it. No, go.
I was gonna say, seeing immediately upon walking in how fancy this place is, and knowing Zell's tastes, I am going to immediately survey the entire room and see if I can see any trace or sign of him whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perception check.
I'd be doing the same, looking for Zell, but also looking for certain individuals that I now know are here in town.
Okay. So with a 13, Dirty Joe, you're kind of caught into the midst of all the art and decor and the vivid colorations of the individual's clothing and things. It becomes a little bit difficult to make out face and the physique of individuals with so many number. I mean, this banquet hall is serving over 60 guests, individuals right now, and it's still not full in capacity. So you're having a difficult time. Thea, 31, quick to scan the faces, kind of draw away from the colorations of the clothes and the swift movements, and really honing in. You do not see Zell in the crowd.
Man, this place is fancy. Hey, y'all see Zell anywhere?
He's not here.
Oh, good. I can eat easy tonight. Well,
I would like to take a quick scan around the room to take a look at the defenses. You mentioned earlier there were a lot of guards. I'd like to see kind of quite how many there are, like if they use rotations, things like that.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check. So while you all are here in the entry chamber, before you bring yourselves into the banquet hall, you can see nearby some of the tall kind of fern planters and other sorts of vivid shrubbery that grows in this temperate region, adding some greenery and coloration to the other linens and the silks. There is a podium, sandstone, as it draws in from the patterned tile, circular with a slight star that's twisted at various times and kind of coats the floor before it reaches a dark and rich white marbling of the actual dancing area that sits at the center point where the tables do not lie, and a bard and trope perform on a platform nearby a large piano built of gold and of silver accents. The person at the podium is just kind of staring and watching you all as you're looking in to the banquet hall and have seemingly maybe refused or accepted to have some of your things given to them. With a 13 intelligence checks Costas, you're looking at perhaps how many individuals there might be and their order and whatnot. The only thing I can give you is that you'd have to watch them for over an hour just to figure out the particular orders and how that they're assigned. What I can give you with the 13 is that there is over 36 enforcers that are standing out to you, many of which are by some of these spiralized pillars that support the second and even third story at times on the north facing, which is over the entry, balcony.
Yeah, the whole time that they were surveying everything, I would have immediately went to a seat.
Okay. So, as you make your way to the podium, in terms of, or are you just going to take away and just go sit down wherever?
No, is there a hostess?
Yeah, there is a
maitre
host. So this individual is on the podium here. Is kind of a half elf that has more elvish features and elongated face. They're also quite old in terms of their appearance, so they have wrinkles and weathering, long straight black hair. This penciled goatee, strikingly again pointing features, and these beautiful gold looped earrings. They have a light green coat with a white cloth blouse with hints of these purplish kind of colorations in terms of their accents on said coat. They have dark gray trousers with long white knit socks and black leather shoes. As they look towards you, they simply move away from the podium, and then they lower themselves in a curtsy-like fashion. Welcome to the Primaris. You can call me Master Fenor. I can take you accompaniment to a table if that is your wish.
Good evening, Master Fenor. Pleasure to meet you. We do need a table, and I'll look around. Is Griffin with us?
Griffin is with you. Didn't I put... Yeah, hold on. Griffin's with you. So
a table for 8.
Ah. Yes, a table for 8. While that will take into some of our larger areas at the back right wing, no worries. And those tables are indeed available. We are outside of the fighting at the Colosseum. Otherwise, the table would be quite packed. We have no reservations. So follow me just this way.
I'm so sorry. You don't happen to have like a private room or anything?
We do. We have a private room on the second floor that does serve a company of private guests. It is under reservation. Do you have a reservation that is an hour or so? Are you wishing to still use this space?
I'm gonna just hand him 100 gold. We'd love to have it right now.
You slide the 100 gold. The reservation is yours for the evening. Follow me this way.
Thank you so much. We got a spot.
Oh, cool.
He's Master Fenor. Yeah, it takes you. So there's 3 staircases to the balcony, the flanking of the left and to the right. Upon passing through the entry chambers, they kind of come up and then they round and come back to the balcony. And then there's one over by the bar, and that is really for the service from the kitchens, because nearby the bar on the right-hand side, there's a semi-arched kind of area with a curtain that's showcasing you to the kitchen, and has access down to the cellar area, into the alleyway to the east side of the structure. So kind of just waltzing you up the northern kind of right staircase there, as you kind of work your way through on the kind of edging of where many people have their tables and they're sitting, but there's a lot of space here between the tables. Everything is very dramatically accented in terms of things, and there's also some rugs placed underneath the tables, and they add a different coloration away from the sandstone patterned floor, planters, and helps kind of divide tables. And they even have latticed screens and this carved out wood, very accented at times, and those help also divide the tables. Then you make your way up to the staircase, and there are rooms with doors that flank, as I had stated, not just of storerooms and other supply areas, but some of them have larger kind of doors that can swing open and things. And those would be your private chambers. Private dining areas with large banquet halls, banquet tables with their own linens and their own silver kind of cutlery and plates, all there at the ready. Shelving and cupboards, and their own bars inside of them. Okay, so they have their own actual bars. So when you come into this space, into one of them, which happens to be kind of in the middle point of the balcony north, the west side, I should say, there are servants at the ready. There's a barkeep getting ready, cleaning out the bar in the back left corner. The windows from below kind of continue up through the space, the slight divider of molding underneath. Curtains draped over can be pulled back. And then the table sits at the center point long with the crystal chandelier draped over. There is easily 4 servants in here and 1 barkeep. Master Fenor bows the head and begins to motion for the table. Servants begin to move over to the table and they begin to pull the chairs back for you to sit down.
Thank you, Master Fenor. Just so you're aware, not sure if our other acquaintance has already made it here yet, but Lady Bruga, if she is not here already, and when she does arrive, if you would see her up.
Yes, Lady Bruga. I will ensure that they will arrive to here. You may prompt any of your orders or any of your drinks to the various servants or to the barkeep that is over there. Is there anything else that you need from me?
Nope,
No?
you've been great. Thank you.
It has been a pleasure, and thank you so much for dining here at the Primaris. Lowers the head and curtsy.
Yes, have a fine evening, Master Fenor.
Begins to look towards the barkeep. Rubly, if you will, take over the room. End of their orders. Bows and then grabs the double doors and closes them. They're sliding doors, specifically. They're just kind of sliding on shutters, leaving you all in this independent space. The one thing that you don't have here is music. There's no individual bar that sits in each of these rooms. And so you're kind of left with a little bit of a slight rain onto the rooftop here, because that's kind of coming under the windows. So I'll start that sound effect to give us some little bit of ambience, and I'll turn it down. And then I'll state a wind.
No, this one,
outside.
dude. Just hold on 1 second. I'm gonna step outside, see what one of the bards that are nearby.
Okay. So all the bards are down by the actual orchestra platform that they have built, the stage right by the actual dancing or the ballroom-esque flooring. You then make your way down to there, and you see as the get the bard ballot and have them kind of continue to play. One of the bards sees you and simply continues to play their instrument.
I'll just walk up and, hey, can we get one of you upstairs in our room? We'll pay for your time.
They look to themselves. You see a lower end bard that's currently cleaning a viola or a violin type instrument, string instruments. They're cleaning it out. They kind of stand up. A younger kind of goblet looks towards you all and goes, "Well, yep, I got it." See a kind of blackish reddish eyes with a little bit of dreaded kind of braided hair that flows down to the mid back. They're wearing very regal clothing that's very, it's almost like an outfit of some of the servers, and they just might have a more of a coat and a vest that accompanies that. Matt car alarm was going out right outside my window. I was like, what is going on? Ah, yeah, I can do that.
Great. Come on up, just give us some company music. We're in a room up here. I'll show you the way.
Oh, sounds good. Gets to way up and finds a corner, pulls out their instrument and looks kind of nervous. There, anything in particular you want me to play?
Hey,
Something
do y'all
upbeat.
know Freebird?
Sat. Freebird. I could try.
Whatever you're best at, man.
All right, let me give it a whirl. Yeah, they're butchering it. To begin to play, they're tripping over some of the strings, trying to catch the notes and interpret what you might imagine. It begins to kind of fall through, and then they pick themselves up and really revert back into perhaps music that they can potentially play. And as they're beginning
Hey man,
to
just
kind
play
of
what you don't suck at. That'd be great.
shape through. Is this better? Is this good?
Yeah, you got your rhythm back there. That sounds better. Hey, Costas, what do rich fancy people drink?
There's no universal drinks. Just look at the menu and find what's expensive.
I mean, it's got to be like a standard thing for, rich type soirees. Is that the word?
Soirees?
Soirees, that's the one. Yeah, what do they usually order to start their dinner time off with?
Cake scotch.
Gosh, huh? Really? I mean, usually it's like mountain folk, highland dwarves, and some of the mining clans that make that stuff.
Yeah, they value the authenticity.
All right, fair enough.
You
So I
know,
walk up to the bartender and say, a round of your finest scotch for our table, please.
You see Ruby Littlefoot, which is a half elf that has a little bit of halfling in terms of their posture and stance. Darker complexion in terms of colorations with the hair and the eyes. Has a little bit of brown, almost violet kind of coming through. Has bracelets and things and golden loop earrings as well. They're very similar kind of colorations and clothes to that of the Master Fenor and others. That they do have a little pendant that kind of sits over us, maybe just a keepsake and just for them. It does stand out as a bird that's kind of sailing through and now looking towards it. It's actually the symbol of the Goli Alliance. It's kind of wearing a gilt symbol on the chest at the best. Certainly, I can do that for you.
You said Rubly Littlefoot?
Ruby Littlefoot.
Okay. I'm gonna thieves' cant some stuff. Some sign. Why are you here?
Looks towards you and signs back. Says it's necessary. You also notice their appearance has changed. Look
Mm-hmm.
like.
I'll take a seat at the table that is very obviously in view of the windows.
I'd like to walk up to the barkeep quickly, like to the bar, and like lean over to whisper to him. Yeah, I'm assuming there are no enforcers nearby. This is a private room. Is that correct?
Of course, this is a private room. There are no need for enforcers unless you all will be causing some trouble yourselves.
Would it be possible to fix that? I'm not saying we need a whole battalion down here, but
It is not necessary, sir. I can promise you your security is at the utmost concern here at the Primaris and will be well taken care of this evening.
no, but maybe just one or two by the doors. Like outside, possibly.
I can understand your concern, and I will prompt one. Begins to flick towards one of the servers and you walk over and whisper something to the ear. We will have some enforcers stationed by the door. That is to your liking.
Okay, yeah. Let's just say the person I'm meeting with has a interesting track record.
You need no justification for your requests, sir. Anything at Primaris will be accommodated within reason. Now to the drinks. Yes? Begins to...
Yeah, you can just bring a bottle of everything over here.
Okay. Bottle of everything. Oh, you said bottle of everything?
Of everything, but
All right, bottle of everything. Begins to pull down an ensemble of different alcohol in terms of distilled liquor and even wines and ales. Begins to pour them into pitchers or uncracking the bottles and setting down silver goblets and other cups, flagons. Sets them down for you all. The servers are glad and helpful to pour for you if that is what you wish, but you can simply pour yourself from the table if you'd like. Then, Rubley begins to walk over with menus. A single menu is served to you all and has 3 different courses stationed in a 5-course meal. Have your picking and liking of those specific food items. Don't need to go into specificity of what each of those are. Just know that they accustom to a wide variety of cuisines in terms of also restrictions. For like druids, they can't eat meat and things.
I get the weirdest sounding, fanciest, bougiest food for each course.
Okay.
I copy Felix's order.
Okay.
Well,
And I
let's
don't know
do
what
it.
any of these means, but you seem to be a man of taste.
Honestly, Joe, I just like new experiences.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Fancy city meal.
So everyone's ordering food. No one's not partaking. Okay. So as you order food, you see as Ruby Littlefoot then takes the menus, writes down the order themselves, and hands it to one of the servers. You then have the sliding doors, and you can see, Costas, that 2 of the enforcers are stationed to the left and right of that space. See as one of the enforcers looks towards you, Thay, and lets out a slight wink. Looks back, facing away as the sliding doors close.
Did I
One of them
recognize-
winked at Thea.
That's correct.
Did I recognize that person as Rudikar, or are they just flirting?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh, not a clue. I'm distracted.
Sliding doors close too quickly for you to get a good look at the eyes.
Excuse me a second. I'm gonna walk out of the room, walk outside, close the doors behind me, go to the enforcers, like, you both need to leave. We need our privacy. Don't come back.
As you wish. Begin to walk away.
I come back in.
I have a question. Did my passive perception pick up the thieves' cant earlier? Maybe not like what it said,
No.
like that there was people were talking in thieves' camp.
Nope. Passive sleight of hands are far greater than your actual passive perceptions.
Okay.
Man, you're right, Costas. This is some damn good scotch indeed. Can get used to this. What else do fancy people drink? I don't know what half these bottles are.
Dude, you know I was usually hanging out in the shit bars, right?
Yeah, but you still went to fancy soirees as well. And I mean, I saw that fully stocked bar by your dad's pool. Who knows what kind of yummy things he got back there. What's this one?
Fine, you know what? As long as I'm not drinking it, I'll show you something. And then I'm gonna order a variety of things and then make a cocktail for him.
I mean, we've already got pretty much the whole bar in front of us. so
Fair
just-
point. He did the pre-order one of everything.
You're noticing that the shelf in this is not necessarily high shelf. They do have a couple bottles that would be accustomed to a high shelf. The glass backing of the bar gives more of an accent. It's trying to not destroy any of your wallets, right? Your coin purses. And it is more about giving you more of an appearance in terms of the aesthetic. So it's really mid-shelf in terms of the alcohol here, maybe a couple low shelf things, and then a couple high shelf. Variety, right? So, Costas, you have your things to work with here. Have any experience being a barkeep, or perhaps proficiency in mixology?
I don't think he has proficiency in mixology. I think he knows how to make a Manhattan, though.
Pitch together something that perhaps your parents would drink. fine high shelf liqueur, able to blend them together, and you hand it over to Joe. Now, God says, I need you to roll one thing for me. I need you to roll an intelligence or wisdom check. What? Nine. Not the best drink you've ever made. Certainly not the worst.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I put too much of one or two things being it. You know?
I mean,
They're just the
Hey,
proportions.
I'm used to like backyard stills, weird moonshines, and your odd decent ale back home, so it's all the same to me. What do you call this thing?
A Manhattan.
A Manhattan. A man putting on a hat with a 10?
I believe it was actually the name of an area in Beolder.
All right, good enough for me.
From what I heard, it was the name of,
Manhattan
like,
is an area in Beelder.
Yep.
Really? That's what we're
It's
going
canon.
with? It's canon now? I'm gonna make this happen?
It has a smaller district within it
A smaller
Sorry,
district
Mike.
within it, yeah.
called Harlem.
Yeah, it has
Harlem.
Harlem. Harlem. So as you all are sitting here making drinks and things, it actually doesn't take too much time after pleasantries and waiting for maybe 15 minutes or so that Bruga is going to arrive on scene here. And Bruga is going to come in to here with the token. So Bruga's portrait token. Bruga comes in. He's going to be dressed a little bit more finer for the occasion. The hair is put back. Has numerous amounts of gold and silverish rings, jeweled, kind of large ruby golden amulet. The ruby is dare the size of Bruga's fist placed upon it. Has the blouse unbuttoned and kind of allows different things to really accentuate themselves. And as they're walking through, they immediately pull up a seat. And they look towards Ruby Littlefoot, mentions forward, and hands the menu, quick to order, places it back. Not their first time at the Permanence. Good evening. How are all of you doing today?
How are you doing?
I'm doing quite fine, now that Bruga is here.
Joe is just staring uneasily over his Manhattan.
Yes, must say you made quite the impression, Bruga.
Bruga tries to make such an impression. Can see you have numerous drinks.
Please help yourself.
Begins to grab a bottle of rather expensive thing of wine that's poured into a pitcher, pours into their silver goblet. Begin to sprinkle their fingers over it slightly, and then they begin to sip on it.
The ruby that Bruga is wearing, does it look perhaps connected to the ruby that I currently have?
Roll investigation or perception check. Based on the appearance of it, doesn't seem to have a connection. You can figure out just by looking. Maybe not at all.
Okay.
Bruga is very surprised that you took them up on the offer of dining at the Primaris.
Why?
Brugge thinks that you all did not like me.
No, Bruga, I mean, it was a great business transaction and interesting to get to know you. I think our party, we've had some rough encounters with people, so we're not quick to trust. But I am sure over time we'll get to know each other better. I'm sure we'll travel in and out of the city.
Raises the goblet. Then Brugge would like to offer toast.
What are we drinking to?
Brugge would like to drink to friendship.
To friendship.
Raises it up. Lowers the head slightly. And then drinks. Sets it down.
Joe is going to sniff his Manhattan real quick to see if it smells any different.
All's the same.
Costa's toast as well, but he's just drinking water.
As Brugge is simply enjoying the decor and drinking on the wine, from left to right to all of you. Eventually the first course comes, sets upon, same silver plating and things, some multi-tiered in the dishes, cutlery there. Napkins presented, flourish of design, uncuffed, ready to be used by all of you. And at that point, you're able to begin eating. As Brugge eats theirs, for a moment begins to pause, wiping reddish tinge of their skin. The servers back themselves away to the wall of this private room. Ruby Littlefoot is behind the bar, working and cleaning and attending.
You said that the servants left the room?
No, they pushed themselves back upon the walls, and now you're in a little bit of a lull, waiting for the next course, perhaps. So you're kind of at that point after the first course is 8.
Joe is unashamedly stuffing his face.
Ooh, quite good. Rich people eat all the time.
Yeah, just like that. Brugge, let's be a little blunt here. You've piqued our interest, very much so. The things you had said back at the shop. Yeah. You may know things that we want answers to. And if you be so kind to maybe share, maybe this relationship can go a little further. We don't speak for everyone, but we may be able to help you somehow if that's what you need in exchange for this information.
Brugge does not need help from you. Brugge has had much time to do what Brugge has always done. Brugge will tell you stories.
Well, before you do, let me refill your drink, and I'll mage hand the wine to refill our goblet.
Lowers the head and says thank you in language that is of mutual tongue between yourselves. Brugge. Is from Felgin. Ruga has studied Well of the Nine Realms. And Bruga was there during the Age of the Great Purge. Bruga has been on this plane for a long time. Bruga has lived many lives. Bruga has seen other chosen. Bruga does not need anything from you. Bruga is here to help.
Why would you want to help us?
Bruga believes in the world of free magic. That is not grown by bloodshed. Bruga was approached and has met with one called Damodar. About secrets of the Well of Nine Realms.
Would you be willing to share your conversation? What you talked about specifically?
Bruga would eagerly share. Damodar was interested in the entity that our people would call the Old One. A voice of other world, of chaos and power. Something that helped the ancient gnomes, very earliest of Felgen, help to build their great tower. Damodar had met with Bruga before the Well of the Nine Realms went dark. The power was drained from the island's waters. Bruga did not share information with this Damodar. Bruga did not trust this person. They told Bruga of the plan to attack the Wizard's Keep, and they claim of the once great lair of Berrythune in Mount Tramar. Bruga did not believe this. Bruga warned the Wizard's Keep. But Wizard's Keep could not stop them and the dragons. For they used power not from this plane of existence. No, Bruga does not think. Bruga tried to see this Damodar in the past. Bruga could not see them, as if they did not exist. Something about them, though, Bruga knows, is about all of you. Is that they are shrouded, protected against divination. Brugger does not know if this is why Brugger cannot see them. Brugger looks for the shadows and the absent in the past. Brugger still did not see it. This is why Brugger did not trust them. The plan, who they were. But Brugger is no. Brugger does not use their magic for violence. When the Talthars came to Felgum, Brugger did not fight. Brugger helped make many refugees to safe haven. Brugger does not use magic for violence. Brugger makes wondrous gifts. Gifts bring joy and happiness.
You sound very wise, Lady Brugger. I just from our experiences, we haven't seen that Damodar has, allowed, being denied. How did you tell him no and not have any consequences?
Damodar is not all-powerful, as much as they would like to believe. It's the dragons that make them powerful. When Damodar came to Brugger, they had great power of other world within them. But it was raw, unchanneled. It was a gift, perhaps. It was a babe. With a wand of fire. Brugger thinks this ritual Damodar had done, this magic that they would not discuss with Brugger, helped them harness this gift. It's not just Damodar, it is the dragons that make Damodar powerful. So why doesn't Damodar just come back and remove Brugger? Brugger is quite powerful too. And Brugger does not wish to make enemy. Brugger does not wish to make enemy against anyone. Brugger is here to make friend. To share knowledge.
Well, based off of some of the things we've heard about those following Damodar, it could be argued that both Brugger and Damodar are fighting for the same thing, just different methods.
Brugger believes in free magic for all, not just on Arthuria and the crush of divine of the Talthars, also in other lands. But this, Brugger knows, takes time. Damodar does not care how much time. They want it now. They have vengeance in their hearts. Damodar spoke of prophecy as if they hated. One of the powerful, Brugger, the most powerful form of divination to foretell future events
prophecy?
An old prophecy. One that guided the Tauthars to raid many places in the region of Uther. Spoken in the words of the late Magistrate Palin. Prophecy that a young firstborn would arise to put the end of the Tauthar bloodline.
Hold on 1 second, Brugette. I'm going to turn towards the barkeep. They leave us to the barkeep and servants.
Ruby looks down, bows the head, as you wish. The servers, and they leave the room, shutting the door. Sees the bard. You want me to leave too?
Yeah, just step outside the door and keep playing music.
They leave and continue to play music outside the door. Ruby shuts the door as the bard leaves. You're alone at the table.
For the Tathars to have acted on such prophecy in the way they did, how much weight do you put said prophecy?
Ruga, no weight. Palin was mad. Late Magistrate Palin was fooled by lichdom.
Can you just out of character summarize what this prophecy is? I misunderstood. But
Prophecy was that one would arise a firstborn to put an end to the Talthar bloodline. And
firstborn of that bloodline would
a firstborn of a family within an area, a region known as Uther to the far south of this continent. And that this region is dense with jungles. They don't have a whole lot of terms of places for settlements. So you talk about villages and towns and bordering areas to a rather more hospitable region. There's also the city of Chandronar. That is what is inside of this area. This was something that had happened during King Reldor Talthar, the current king's time. At a young age, a magistrate known as Palin is now late magistrate. And that was from the ancestor of King Reldor, an inherited, grandfathered in, if you will. And that magistrate had powerful divination magic. They had a few prophecies that they had told and aided the people's palace, the council, and the king. Palin, at this point, according to Brugge, had a fascination with lichdom, necromancy, and perhaps prophecy that they provided the king was not accurate, it was false. Could it be they failed in their own power, or that they gave a misguided, they told the king a lie? This is going back to terms of Othema. We had something to do with the Black Hand, right? So this might be striking at notions that Palin maybe had turned to them. It was a move against, or maybe Palin was part of the reckoning, was a fanatic. So these are a couple notions that Brugge would third person at this point begin to say.
so. What should we do with this information?
Brugge looks. Brugge thinks. For someone to hate prophecy so much, they must have been pushed by it. this false prophecy and what King Breldor Talthar had done. Not spoken. The Justicars and the soldiers of the Talthars were put to secrecy. Vow. Brugge only knows this because Brugge resided in the people's power in this time.
In what capacity?
Brugge was lector. The Talthars wished a collector.
Collector?
A collector.
Collector.
Talthars wished to find many artifacts, and Brugge likes magic. Brugge also was trying to find more information. Of the Talthar's plan. Brugge has lived many lives, Brugge has said this.
Brugge, how does out of curiosity, you've mentioned lichdom now. How does one live many lives?
Smiles. Brugge shrugs his shoulders. Power of the arcane is very vast. Brugge might have weight.
So you believe Damodar might have been personally accosted by prophecy in that region?
Brugge believes so.
Well, doesn't that seem to reason that he could have been a child in this region that was attacked by the Talthars? And that's why, he hates prophecy because they killed his people or whatever. What if he was the firstborn of his family? What if he's the firstborn that the prophecy's about, anyways?
And in trying to escape it, he's fulfilling it.
You could say this prophecy might have been self-fulfilling.
Well, the only prophecy we've heard so far is that the chosen, our lives and our arrival will be brought here to stop chaos or bring upon chaos.
Restore balance.
Restore balance. Restore balance against the chaos. What if that was what Damodar is doing? And it's not false. It's not a false prophecy.
You mentioned seeing other chosen. How many iterations of chosen have you seen? What happened to the last?
Brugge was not sure if you were chosen. You have told me you were chosen. Do you wish for Brugge to tell you?
As scholar, I am curious.
Brugge has seen many chosen. None as banded and bonded as Brugge thinks you all are. Many of these chosen have perished. Small, simple, some grand. They all speak that they were pushed to do things, to bring order. Some of them Brugge spoke to. They did not know they were chosen. They knew nothing of this. Ruga has been quite curious. Ruga wishes to help. Ruga wishes to learn. Ruga wants to
I
know.
would also like to learn and know, why did you lie about the door being locked?
Ruga would not be good sales person if not for a little bit of debauchery. Ruga did
Is
not
that
mean
how
to
sales work?
Ruga did not mean to trap you. But Ruga wished to talk with you a little bit longer. You're always free to leave.
Well, in the vein of learning, then, uh, we've uncovered some interesting, well, thoughts recently. We've learned about deity in the very distant past who apparently was shattered. Myself and Othala here have been doing quite a bit of reading on the topic. There's not much in the books as of they are here, other than referencing a vague deity of order, perhaps. Know anything more about them?
Ruga has read books. Ruga has learned. Nothing more mysterious of deities than that. No followers. No devoted. No prayers answered. No fables. No tales.
In your experience, what are some of the things that could happen that would cause a deity to shatter? Again, hypothetically,
Go with that one more time.
just basically asking her, what does she think it would take for something like a cosmic power to shatter? What kind of events would have to unfold for that?
Deities. Born from the cosmos to roam and to form. Ruga has not heard of a deity that has perished. Many deities have lost their power. They have been forsaken. Ruga thinks that this is what you mean by shatter.
Hypothetically speaking, this deity, not maybe not shattered, but fractured, other term. Perhaps you're right, though, in that line of thinking. Never truly die and rather take other forms.
Ruga thinks so. Become something new. With great power to destroy something that was born from the cosmos. Power that only a deity may wield.
Umberga, I'd like to say that this is helpful, but it still is not.
Bruga, you ask questions of Bruga. Bruga trying to answer.
No, it's not your fault. I'm just frustrated. We're we're chosen, right? Chosen for what? Chosen to bring balance against chaos or whatever. What the fuck does that mean?
Bruga wishes to know too. But Bruga
Would we be
knows.
chosen to get a discount at your store?
Bruga thinks friendship might give discount at store. But Bruga knows of one that will help you. Bruga has spoken with the Old One. At Felgum, we remark the Old One as an entity outside of time. They speak with their perceptions as finite. Time will always happen. Past, present, and the future. If anyone was to know of what the chosen might be,
But then, Mr. Othello, I think you got your wish. You need to go to the IM.
Yeah, it does seem like all roads are leading towards Felgum.
But Bruga wishes to usher warning. After the ritual that Damodar had used, Old One did not talk to Bruga. Bruga could feel a small spark.
Do you think that they're wounded or hurt?
Bruga thinks they are dormant.
Is there a way to wake them?
Oh wait, I talked to them, so shouldn't.
Looks towards you, Casas. You have spoken with Old One?
The guy zapped me.
Bruga quite curious. What's up to you?
I look at Thea.
Bruga says someone speak!
I look at Thea for confirmation.
Touch something he shouldn't have touched. Look at him. He touches everything he shouldn't touch.
Okay, so I think that means I can talk about it. Yes, I touched a big rock. It showed me the future, and I got zapped.
Bruga wants to know what was Big Rock.
It's like a crystal.
Mm.
I got touched by lightning. Tons of scars. Armor melted. Old One told me to come to the well, and that he could heal me. Something like that.
Minor illusion, a copy of what it looked like.
You see as Bruga begins to get out of the chair and come over towards you as you minor copy. Bruga thinks this is Twin Quistral of Otherworld. Begins to motion, coming over to your chair. Turns you and braces you. Is this okay?
Embracing who? Casas or me?
Casas. Like turning the chair, trying to turn your chair and get you away from the table and then face you.
Mm.
You know what? Sure, go for it.
Bruga needs your hair.
It always leads back here.
Bruga knows you do not trust Bruga with the hair, but Bruga does need.
This isn't like just any normal hair, though.
Bruga needs it.
You look in the hair, and it's incredibly there's like so much product that's been put in this hair. It is like the softest hair you've ever seen.
Do you give Brugge consent?
He leans forward.
Grabs your hair, plucks a single strand out, unfurls from wrist pocket space a small crystal vial, works it, puts it back in the wrist pocket space. Brugge will take their lead. Looks from left to right. Brugge will test to see if this one carries some of the old one's power. It has been told that the twin crystals of the other world were creations of the old one, planted when this world was formed. These creations hold power, may be enough to wake well, to rise old one from dawn. And you spoke to them. I will test. Brugge's more chipper, more excited. The prospect of this stares up at you, Costas. Eager eyes. And Brugge promises to do nothing else with your hair.
Thank you.
Do any of you need
Do I
more from
believe-
Brugge? You can roll inside.
Do I
if you
believe
wish.
that?
Roll inside. Does anybody need more from Brugge before Brugge gets to experiments? 22. They seem rather trustworthy and very excited that there is a prospect of arising the old one from dormancy.
Joe's gonna glance over at Thea with like a, what do you think?
Yeah, basically the same facial expression, but leaning more toward let this happen.
All right, in that case, Joe's gonna pipe up and say, right around the same time that Fancy Pants here got zapped, I also got zapped. Didn't. Well, I don't know if I spoke to the old one, but I did get a vision of like a primordial world with a kind of big pinkish blob of lightning energy and Damodar, standing over it larger than life. And I heard a voice in my head saying, "You have to choose."
It has been said that the twin crystals of the other world, Brugge thinks, Brugge knows, that they have their own mind. Crystal could have connected with you and given you prophecy.
I will
And-
say, when
and
I
Fling
touched
is
the
to-
crystal, I got tapped. I think I saw a big dragon eat the world, although it was a while ago, and I did get zapped immediately after, so my brain might not be good at that.
Could be prophecy too. But have restraint, Brugge thinks. The only other twin crystal of the other world is below, in the dungeons of the Wizard's Keep. This is why the Wizard's Keep was built, and perhaps foretold of why they had slayed Perithun and taken over Mount Ramah.
Brugge, what would happen if these twin crystals were disturbed in any way?
Brugge does not know. Brugge has never seen such powerful things destroyed. Creations and formations be like chopping down the century.
Yeah, let's not do that. We touched it, and it wasn't fun, so I don't want to see what happens when we hit it with a hammer or something.
Must have taken great willpower to be able to touch the crystal, to commune with it, Ruga thinks. Looks towards you, Dirty Joe. Ruga wishes you to describe what was this figure you saw. Not... Not
I mean,
Demeter.
Not Demeter. Oh, the other thing?
Yes.
Well, it's like I said, it was just kind of a big, amorphous, cloudy, zappy blob of, I don't know, sentient stuff. I mean, I got the impression there was mind there, but yeah, it was kind of tough to make out.
Ruga is concerned.
Yeah.
What you have described to Bruga was what the Felgums had drawn in their very earliest journals. Called them ancient guardians of the Old One. They helped build Felgum.
That was the old one's hench blob.
No. Ruga thinks about this. Ruga wonders of why they were there on the island and then they were not. Ruga thinks they were sent by the Old One. Made from the Isle's waters. Guide the Falcon gnomes. To help build the well. To eventually commune with the Old One. The Old One was seeking them out. If this is prophecy, prophecy generally doesn't have choice. Ruga will think on this and do experiments to see. You may come by Bruga's many things whenever you'd like. Bruga will try to have answer for the morning. So passively here, you're kind of noticing. I'm losing the accent. I'm just tired. So I'm losing. It's a hard one to do, especially when you're trying to be serious. So passively, the insights and stuff, Bruga also has had a mood shift, right? They kind of opened up to you in terms of the magic shop being kind of this extravagant salesperson and kind of biding their time a little bit, locking the door, being like, you need your hair, right? These very oddity things, oddball type stuff. Now they're kind of shifting over to showcase of why they might be a very powerful mage. Because they have a lot of knowledge and they've gathered that over numerous lifetimes. They lived in diversity and they have had this kind of idea in their heads of wanting to restore magic freely. And to do that, you have to gather knowledge, magical items, help instruct, help teach and things. And so that eeriness has almost dissolved. Now hearing that you all encountered the twin crystal. Not in the sense that they're... But it's more of a serious tone that they've taken. That this is now serious. We've gone to that level that they might be at. In terms of inquisitiveness and things and unknowns. And then the prophecy that you've given. So something that's so dynamic, right? To be able to choose in a prophecy. And that choice matters. It's very odd. And so they're going to think upon this. In addition to performing some experiments, most likely we'll be seeing you, if you cause to spare a mark of the Old One. Maybe that will be enough to arise the old one from dormancy. So this is what we have a synopsis here, but also in passive insights, just seeing the serious tone and things, not because they're trying to have deception or to have any sort of, be like, oh, it's really in a good place. Right? They're coming from a good. So as they pick themselves up, the silence of this private room. They take a step away from you, Costas, right? Pull your chair maybe back, or perhaps you just keep your position there. They look to the left and to the right of all of you. Bruga has lost appetite. Bruga needs to get to work. And then lowers the head towards all of you as they pick their head up. They begin to cast a spell. A greenish sphere begins to envelop them as they teleport away.
1,000 blessings of Pelor upon you, Guga.
Bruga does not reply to that as they teleport away.
What do you think we should tell about?
Could you say that again?
Yeah, you are quiet. That's why your Faith, you are quiet. Just FYI, that's why I had to ask. Yeah.
Going on to mention to follow after Costas says that. Right. When do you think we should tell Costas about what we learned on Pelor, Talthars?
Should we let him have his night?
Fair point.
There's a lot of things happening. I think we should just let everyone's mind get at ease. Recover from the morning. Unload them. We already have a mission, so.
Right. I wouldn't want him thinking of anything else. Well, with his other plans.
Yeah, it's cool messing with the kid, but for morality's sake, let's just try to keep his spirits up.
So Griffin has been listening to this conversation the whole time. Slowly sips from the flask. It seems Bruga speaks some truth. We were taught as children, becoming knights, that prophecy is quite a fickle thing. Zoomfir, a wizarding school in Chandranarm, now left to ruin by Damodar and their dragons. Their archmage reached out to our aid, for help against the Talthars that raided, guided by this false prophecy. Some of the Master of Towers, some of them believe this prophecy to be true and others did not. Stand to reason that it is indeed self-fulfilling. It's true. They look on the stern faces of you all. They themselves go into silent contemplation as they begin to think of the future ahead. sipping on their flask, waiting for you all to speak.
Well, that was a hell of a thing. Good thing there's plenty of booze here, man. I need to get my head straight after that. Got any more concoctions there, Costas? Also, anybody not eating anything on their plates? I'm still famished. This stuff is delicious.
How about an apple teeny?
An apple teeny. Never heard of it. I'll take 2.
Okay.
I'm in agreement. We should drink. We asked for the second course.
Yeah, let's continue our night. Hope this goes without saying, Griffin. Might show how much we actually trust you. Like this, just stay between us.
It will. As I have told you, my quest is to figure out the root of Daminar's ritual. This Beruga has shed a light on that. And, yours, you, Costas, to think that you might be the spark to speak to something so powerful that may give us answers into this ritual. It gives me hope.
Thank you.
You're welcome.